Hello, good afternoon. We are on live Tuesday at 2. Oh, look, there's a piece of hair hanging out. So I'm hopping on. I know it takes a couple minutes for people to find the feed and log on. So hopefully you will find me. I am back into the groove on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share some stamping inspiration with you. Hi, Maureen. Oh, great. That probably means I'm in the right place on the Stampin' for Fun Facebook page. I hope everybody had a good week. My week was a good week. I got the kids off to school and got everybody settled, I think. So I just have to get settled into a routine. I can proudly say that I think I've made my bed every single day this week. So I feel like that's an accomplishment. Good. Baby Natalie's watching. She's not really a baby anymore, is she? She's probably a toddler. Is she walking yet, Maureen? Hi, Diane. Hi. Oh, it's good to see people logging on. I know it takes a couple of minutes to log on. So I like to do say hello, share a few announcements, and then we'll get on to the stamping part. Okay, so Tuesday at 2 is really a weekly video that I like to do to just share stamping inspiration, a lot of things with Stampin' Up, all our beautiful products in the catalog and everything. It's just not the same when you just look at the book. A lot of it comes alive when you see it in action, and it comes alive even more when you are actually using it. So I know not everybody can make it out to my events, or maybe you haven't been to one in a while. That's okay. You can still catch some Stampin' inspiration every week on Tuesday. And starting just this month, I decided that I would sort of do a monthly theme and have product of the month. So every month we'll be showcasing a different product, and any online orders that come through this month will be eligible to receive the tutorials for the projects that I show related to the product of the month. Oh, that's a lot of P's. So hopefully that all makes sense, and I'm happy to share inspiration with you. And why it's fun to do it live is because I can respond to your comments right away, or if you have questions, you can ask me right away. It's also fine if you're watching the replay and you want to comment. I do eventually get around to reading the comments, but I may not answer right then and there. I might just message you if there's a particular question you have or anything like that. But you can always reach out to me. Okay, I just realized every time I try to get ready, and I still always forget things. I had a flyer upstairs that I wanted to show you. I didn't get my glasses, so I'm hoping I can still read what people are commenting. But just a reminder of a few things. One of my classes, the registration deadline comes up this Saturday. This Saturday is the registration deadline for my 12 card Stamp-A-Stack. So let me show you some of the cards from that class. And anyone can sign up for that class. You can come to the class locally on Wednesday, September the 25th at Markham Baptist Church. You can come and make these 12 cards. Here's a few samples of the cards. Okay. Sorry, the font's backwards right now, but hopefully you get the idea. So there's a few different designs that you can get to make, and you end up at the end of the evening with 12 beautiful cards. They all have these gorgeous felt accents, as well as the pretty box. There's a pretty box with a lid that you go home with. Okay, so if you can come live on September the 25th to come and make that, let me know. The registration deadline is this Saturday. If you can't come live and you'd rather do it on your own space in your own time, let me know, because that option is available as well. If you can come, then it's a little cheaper. It's $50 to make the 12 cards, and you get the box as well. If you can't come, I do have to tack on extra for the shipping. Okay, so just let me know if you want the take it to go option if you're not able to come live. Oh, okay. I'm getting a little warm here. Okay, so what other announcements do I have? I had mentioned about the product of the month. So if you guys didn't tune in last week, you can go onto my Facebook page and kind of scroll through. You'll probably find the video from last week, which showcases the product of the month. But just a reminder, it is the Monster Bash Designer Series paper. So here's the project that we made last week, using the Monster Bash Designer Series paper. And so if you want the instructions and the measurements, it's all on last week's video. And see, it's very roomy inside. Lots of room to put candies and things inside. But when we cut the paper, we had a piece left over. So today I am going to show how we use this piece for other projects. Okay, and so if you want the tutorials, the measurements, everything like that, all you have to do is place an online order on my online store, and you will get the 4 tutorials for the 4 projects that I'll do each week in September, showcasing the Monster Bash DSP. But if your order is over $60 or $60 and more, I will actually mail you a class kit in the mail. And what it will be for this very fun sampler. Let me hold it up here. Okay, so I'll try and show you guys later. So what I would do is I would cut all the pieces out for you ahead of time. I'm not allowed to send stamped pieces in the mail, so you would have to use your own stamps and ink to do any of the stamping stuff. But everything else will be pre-cut and prepared for you, and I will mail it to you if your order on my online store is $60 or more. So all you need to do to shop on my online store is just go to my website, genevieve.stampinup.net, and click the Shop Now button, and that should take you to my online store. So the last announcement I have is with regards to, I hope you're all on my newsletter list. I will, let me know if you want to be on my newsletter list, because I just sent out a newsletter this morning letting people know that I have a Stampin' Bingo event coming up. That'll be on Thursday, October the 10th, and that's a fun event where you don't even have to come out of your house. You don't even have to get out of your PJs to do it, although it is in the evening, so you can get into your PJs, get your hot drink, and join me online, where I will be doing stamping demonstrations. You will actually get a make and take packet mailed to your door ahead of time. So by the time you log on the 10th, if Canada Post is functioning as it should, you should have your make and take packet ready to stamp along with me. So you'll have all your pieces, and usually I die cut everything, and sometimes people ask, what if I don't have the same stamp set as you? That's okay. I purposely designed my online bingo stamping events so that you could kind of substitute. Usually it's words that you have to stamp, so you could substitute some other word or something like that, or maybe it's a generic kind of flower stamp and you could just use what you have with the inks that you have. Okay, so don't worry about that, but everything else will be die cut and pre-cut for you, and when you're joining in, you'll actually see me demonstrating how to make the cards, and you can do it along with me at the same time or do it after. And then I even have an online prize wheel to draw winners, and then we play a few games of bingo. So in your little packet that comes in Canada Post mail, there'll even be a little bingo card, and just for fun, we play bingo, and I've got more prizes to give away. Of course, all wonderful new Stampin' Up! Product from the holiday catalog. So make sure to register for that. The link is in my newsletter list, and I will try to put it on this Facebook post when I'm done recording everything. Okay, but if you have any questions about that, let me know, because the registration deadline for that is fast coming up. So although the event isn't till October the 10th, I am trying to get registrations by September the 19th so that I can get everything organized and mailed out ahead of time so that you have it before the night of the online class. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I think those are all the announcements I wanted to share. So let me clear off a little bit of space and we can do some stamping. So everybody who comments, I love it that you've already started commenting away. Any comments will be entered into a drawing for a prize. Oh, I forgot to get the prize. But that's okay. There's always a prize. Last week the prize was some glitter enamel dots, and I don't know if Judy Williams is on right now. She may end up watching later, but Judy was the winner from last week. So I've already got it in an envelope to mail out to Judy. But today's video, even if you're watching on replay, watching live, just comment, and if you commented, then you'll be entered for a chance to win this week's prize. Okay, so let's do some stamping. Okay, I'm trying some new camera setup and things, so let's see how it works. I do still have to do the flipperoo onto my table here, so I hope that goes smoothly. I'm also realizing I forgot to bring the stamp set down, so you'll have to wait. I'll put this wonderful thing here that you can look at while I get everything all set up. Okay, yes, congratulations, Judy, on being the winner. Okay, let's flip this around. And hopefully we'll have a successful flip there. Okay, hopefully you guys can see everything there. Okay, so there's a close-up, a little bit more of a close-up on the sampler. Okay, and as I mentioned, here's last week's little box. I'll move this so that you can kind of see that box better. I think it's fun to look inside. You can kind of see how roomy it is. I've got two kind of like granola bars in there, and there's still more room to put stuff. I will probably use this little box at my retreat weekend to put our Friday evening snack. Okay, so that's there. And so from the time that we cut that box, oh, not everything's showing here. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned, if you wanted to place an order, it's easy. Just go to my online store, stampitup.net, genevieve.stampitup.net. Let's see. And then you've got the host code there. Okay, and that will make sure that I know you get the tutorials for all the projects using our Monster Bash Designer Series paper. Okay, so what are we going to do with this strip? That's the mystery today. Let me look for the stamp set first of all. So the stamp set that coordinates with this Designer Series paper is the Spooktacular Bash. Let me see if I can get rid of the shadow. Okay, so hopefully that got rid of a bit of the shadow there. We're using the Spooktacular Bash stamp set. Okay, and then as well, we're going to be using the dies. So I should have taken this all out beforehand. It doesn't matter how organized I think I am. I'm never as organized as I should be, so I apologize. But I hope that makes you feel that you don't have to be particularly savvy to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can just be normal like me. Okay, so these are the dies that coordinate with the Spooktacular Bash. Okay, and so I already pre-cut the die that I needed. I'm actually using this ornate die here. But you can see that the dies that coordinate with the Spooktacular Bash stamp set, they really have nothing to do with Halloween. So they are just all ornate frames and the kind of pieces that coordinate with the frames. So that's what that is. Okay, so let's move this aside. Oh, hi Karen, long time no see. I put it in quotations because I don't know if I've ever really seen you, but I see you online, so that kind of counts. Hooray! Okay, so I missed you last week, Karen, so if you missed it, we made this cute box out of the Monster Bash DSP, and when we cut that box, we had a strip left over, so I just want to show you what we're going to do with the strip today. The strip is about, I think, 2.5 inches wide. Yes, it is. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. Okay, so we're just going to cut it at the 5 1/4 mark. Okay. And we are going to use this piece by attaching it to a Whisper White piece of cardstock. This cardstock is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this will go perfectly on top there. So let's stick that down. You guys all still with me? I don't know how the weather is where you are, but I think we've got a little bit of sunshine. Okay, so let's let's glue that down. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, also in that suite, there's actually some ribbon. I'll give you a bit of a close-up on that ribbon. It looks like this. It's a basic black ribbon. I don't know if you can see, there's a bit of a scallopy edge on it. So again, doesn't have to be used for Halloween, but because it's basic black, it works fine. And what I'm going to do is I am going to just cut a piece of that ribbon. And this is a little trick that I use to, it's a little trick I use to kind of conserve ribbon. So I just cut it a little bit longer than I need. And then I tape it at the back here. Okay, and so I just use regular kind of Scotch tape or dollar store tape, if I can find the edge of it, to tape that down. So how many of you out there, do you guys make Halloween treat packets, or what do you guys normally do for Halloween? I know that our family, we're not into like really spooky, evil kind of things, but the kids, although they're getting older now, but they still like to dress up, and they certainly like the candy aspect of the whole thing. So although I wouldn't say I'm a big Halloween celebrator, I do still like to craft some fun things for Halloween. Okay, so, oh my goodness, now I can't find the edge for the tape. Isn't it the way when you're on camera? So tell me what you guys do for Halloween. Do you still have lots of trick-or-treaters at your house? Oh, okay, so Maureen doesn't do anything for Halloween. Maybe as Natalie gets older. Yeah, I think that's how it was for us. I think our husband and I, before we had kids, I don't even think we turned on the lights. We were those people on the street. But then once we had kids, and, you know, it was kind of fun to have them dress up. And our neighborhood, there's tons of kids, so it's like a community event. Everybody's out on the street. All the parents are talking to each other. So that's when we sort of got into the giving out the candy and making fun things. Okay, so you see how I just taped the back end there? And then if I want to tie a bow, instead of wrapping all the way around and tying a bow, I just cut a little strip. And then what do I do here? I just slip it underneath. Okay, so it makes it look like I went all the way around and tied a knot, but it's sort of fake. It's like a fake knot. Fake, yeah. Okay, so you see how I did that? So to me, it makes me feel like I'm saving wrapping all the way around. So it saves a little bit of ribbon there. Okay, and so I already pre-cut the dies for today, but I'm using this ornate one. I cut it out of pumpkin pie, and then there's this one here that mats perfectly with this. Okay, so you can pretend I rolled them out, and I have them here. Okay, so you'll see right there. Oh, this one didn't cut out 100%. Okay, but you get the idea. It's a really ornate kind of piece there. And we'll just pop that on top. Okay, and so I'm not going to go through the trouble of poking out these pieces for you, because that would make for a really boring video. I could have used the brush tool. Okay. Oh, you do make treat bags from your paper pumpkin kit. Yes, well, today is the last day to subscribe to the paper pumpkin, which they have already announced is Halloween themed, and they've said it's 20 treat boxes, so definitely make sure you are up for that, because today I believe is the last day. Okay, so let's pop this stamp on. It's actually a really cute saying. It's so glad we're such ghoul friends. Okay, so let's stamp that on there. I'm going to use our Memento Black. Okay, and we'll stamp it. Okay, so again, this is really what I'm showing you over these few weeks, last week's project and this week's project, It's pretty much a one sheet wonder kind of idea. So one sheet of 12 by 12 DSP can make a few things. Like we made the box last week, but you don't have to use Halloween paper. You can use any kind of paper you want. But because we're getting ready for Halloween, that's what I used. And then remember, we have the strip left over, and I'm showing you how you can make a card out of it. Okay. Diane saying it's her least favorite day after Halloween. Yeah, I'm sure the kids are all strung out on candy. Okay. Okay. They're probably all hyper from not having gone to bed at a decent hour. Okay. But anyway, this could still be a fun card to give to a friend. Okay, over the season. And let's get our dimensionals here. Oh, these are the mini dimensionals. I'm just going to get my big size dimensionals here. Okay. So yeah, I know I feel like because I have kids and the youngest one still likes to go out, sometimes it's nice to make special treats, you know, for those special friends. It's not like I'm going to, like we have probably over 200 that come to our house over Halloween. Like, and it's so cute to see all the little kids, especially the baby ones, right? The little 2-year-olds and stuff like that in their little cutesy costumes. But it wouldn't be unusual for me to make card or treat or something for my kids' special friends, you know, when they come, the ones that they hang out with at school or whatever, or sometimes they'll trick or treat together, so they'll come over here first. And then I've got something a little fun and special for them. Okay, and then I'm just using some basic black cardstock. It's regular dimensions, 8.5 by 5.5 there. So this will go exactly on top. Okay, so that is the card. But again, remember, you can use any kind of designer series paper to kind of do this one sheet wonder. You could do the box, then you do the card. Now, where's the rest of our, here, I'll hold it up so you guys can see that. Okay, super fun and easy. I don't know where my little, I'm sure I bought some spooky little elements we could even put on there. But still, we've still got this much left. What are we going to do with this? So, why not create an envelope flap? Okay, so we can actually just measure it up. So you can either keep exactly the same pattern, but it does mean that if you have a top and bottom kind of design, it will be kind of sideways. So what you can actually do is flip it over and use the other side, since that doesn't have as severe a top and a bottom, but I don't know. I kind of want it to match. No, you know what? I'll go this way. But that's the fun of it. That's the fun of our designer series paper, is you can decide which way you want it to go. Okay, so we're just going to put some snail adhesive onto the flap of the envelope. I'm actually going to make sure that I have it kind of near the edges there a bit. Okay, and then I'm just going to line the edge up with the fold line of the envelope. Okay, and so right there you can see that I've got a piece that I can cut off. So that's what we're going to do. I just take my paper snips and I trim. Okay, I know the dies are really nice, Audrey. They're totally unrelated to Halloween. They're just beautiful frames. So again, if you buy the stamp set and the dies together, you do save 10%. But you can, of course, just buy the dies separately or just the stamp set separately, whatever you prefer. Okay, so there's no tricky secret to it, except that using paper snips really helps because they are wonderful scissors, sharp and easy to use. Okay, so then we've got a card and an envelope, but I'm not throwing this away. I'm saving this. I'm going to trim this right here, and I'm going to make something else with the last bit. But I'm not going to make it today. You're going to have to tune in next week to see what I make with this last bit of paper. Okay, but I'm going to see if I can trim it a bit so it's a little straighter. Okay, there we go. What's Genevieve going to make with this little piece? Tune in next week and see on Tuesday at 2. So again, the product of the month is the Monster Bash DSP. And this is what we made in week 1. Week 2, we actually did 2 projects. So this week we did the card and the matching envelope. So tune in next week to see what I'm going to do with this tiny piece that we have left over. And I guess that's my stamping for this week. I hope you guys like my product of the month idea. So don't forget, if you need to shop, there are tons of beautiful things in the holiday catalog, in the annual catalog. Make sure you head to my online store, genevieve.stampinup.net. When you use this host code, you'll get the measurements, tutorials for the projects that I've been doing as part of the product of the month. And then as well, if your order is over $60, your online order is over $60, then you can take advantage, and I will send you the pieces so that you can make your own Halloween decor item. So I'll even cut this all out for you. What does this say? It says, "Have a wicked good time." Okay, and this one says, "Hey there, pumpkin." So I wouldn't be able to stamp it for you, but I will cut out all the pieces and send them to you. Okay, so that you can kind of create this Halloween decor item on your own. So that's if your online order is $60 or more. Or the other option is you can host a private class. Contact me and I will drive to you, and you get your friends together and we'll do a little fun get together. Okay, so I guess that's all I wanted to share with you. I'm just going to show you one more thing because I keep forgetting to mention it, and it's come up a few times lately, is this blue plate. So any of you out there that have bought any of the new embossing folders, any of the embossing folders from the catalog that have this this thing here, it says 3D. If your embossing folder is 3D and you bought it this year, like from June 2019 onwards, then you need this plate. It makes it so much easier because Stampin' Up! Will be coming out with a new die cutting and embossing machine. They haven't released it yet, but they've already started manufacturing these embossing folders to coordinate or to work really well with that machine. But that means those of you like myself who are using the Big Shot from before, you will have trouble with these 3D embossing folders. They will not, it just seems like they don't emboss right, or it might not fit through your machine or something like that. So this is the answer, okay? I already had someone who didn't know, and they accidentally totally cracked their embossing folder because they were trying to make it go through the machine with the plates that they had, and they didn't realize, and I feel terrible about it because she didn't come to a class where I announced it. So I'm trying to get the word out. Maybe I'll put it on my Facebook page or something to try to get the word out that if you have any of the Stampin' Up! 3D embossing folders that you purchased from June 2019 or onwards, and you've got a regular die cutting machine like a Big Shot, then you will need this plate to help you use it. Okay, so that's my little public education announcement for you. Don't break your new embossing folders by trying to force them through with the other plates you have. You really need this blue one. Hi, Shelly. Glad you joined in. Okay, so let me flip it around to say a proper goodbye, and then we will tune in next week. Let me flip this around and see, so then I kind of like to see your faces, and I think you guys like to see as well. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Okay, guys, so hopefully you got a little bit of Stampin' inspiration today, and yes, now you can see how nice the paper is. It's always different to see it up close, to see a few more designs on the paper and different ways to use it, because even on this one, right, like there's patterns on that Halloween paper that you don't have to use for Halloween, right? So like this crushed curry pattern, definitely doesn't have to be used for Halloween. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Oh, I'm glad I gave you a little Stampin' fix. And don't forget to comment, even if you're watching the replay, because when you comment, I'll enter you into the drawing for a prize. And then I'll be back next week, Tuesday at 2 Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.